First practice today was really good. You know, it's we get a practice in today and tomorrow, then we back off and don't have any during finals week. And so it was a real high enthusiasm, high energy practice. So really very pleased with it. Okay.
Thanks.
Have a nice day.
Is they happy to see that coming back after?
Yeah, I thought they would. I mean, they you know, it's been a week since we played, so I think it's just a lot of enthusiasm too for the kids too. You know, they're excited about it, and you know, we're kind of off our normal schedule, which is kind of nice for them too. That, you know, the monotony of every Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday and game day and all the stuff that they have to do. So I'm very pleased with that. And we got a few guys banged up, but I think we're gonna get most of them back.
Coach, do you remember what the Mizzou football program was like when you first came here?
Do I remember? Yeah, I remember. I remember. Yeah, there was a lot of struggles. You know, you know, you're building a program and you're changing attitudes, and that's the most difficult thing to do, and getting people to believe what you're doing, and really, it was kind of a, you know, this is where we're going to do it, and you have to be able to adjust. If you don't adjust, then you're not going to be here. So we went through a lot of growing pains. I often questioned why I came here during those first couple of years, but you know, we just keep working hard, and slowly but surely, you know, kids start trusting you. That's the most important. They start trusting that you know what you're doing, that you care about them. As soon as that happens, then you get some ownership, and then slowly it changes.
Do your players today know what it was like back then?
Oh, I don't think so. But you know, what they know, really, most of our kids now, the recruits right now, you look in the last 8 years, you know, we're the fifth winningest program in the Power 5 leagues, and you know, these kids were 10 years old, so they've been a part of Mizzou football. The kids recruit now, they expect Mizzou to win. Back then, it was a lot different. There was a lot of other things we had to do, and I'm very indebted to all the players that you know, that stuck with us in the very beginning of 2001 when we started building this program, because a lot of guys left the program, and some guys just hung in there and kept battling, and finally in 2003 went to our first bowl, and we slowly started changing.
Did it take a while for the fan base to gain that trust?
Well, I honestly, what you do, you focus on, you know, if you have to put a good product out there and you play well, you know, the fan base will take care of itself. But our fans have matured tremendously. I mean, you know, that's been you know, into the SEC and everything. So, you know, it's something that's really good, and it's something that you know, it's ongoing.
I know this is a time when you try to get the young guys involved a little bit. Is this also a time when you try to develop some leadership for next year?
Not really right now, no. You still got the seniors here. You know, they're going to do what they do. We do have a lot of juniors and sophomores that really have been leading all year. You know, we just don't restrict it to seniors, but the seniors kind of run the team. We will get back to our leadership classes when they get back at the end of January. And we start leadership classes with every group that we have, and it's the ongoing of developing leadership, and then the changing of the guard happens. All the seniors are gone, and then you kind of watch the chemistry of the team develop all the way to August sometimes to see how it develops and who's going to stand up and lead. So it's you know, what we don't do here is we just don't hope we have good leaders and hope it works out well. We work on developing leaders and teach leadership skills when they're freshmen.
Coach, how important were some of those seniors to the team this year?
Well, they're always important. Last year's senior group, you know, we come off the first losing season forever, you know, for a long time, and you know, then this year's seniors, you know, can you do it back to back, and can you play at a high level back to back, and that's, you know, that's what starts with those guys, and that's, you know, we didn't start the season off very well either. So, you know, those guys, they did a great job of leadership, and you know, it's hard to compete at that level. You know, you look around the nation, and you can do it. You know, win 22 games in, you know, back-to-back. You know, a total in 2 years. And so, you know, we got a chance now to break the record. If we can win this game, we got a chance to break the record of the most wins in back-to-back years in the history of the University of Missouri. That would surpass the 07-08 team. But there's also, I think, what we always talk about our players now. We've done this probably the last 6 or 7 years. Is we always talk about, with tradition comes responsibility. And when you're a Mizzou, you have a tradition to uphold. You know, when these seniors leave, the new group comes in, the whole football team, you know, understand what your responsibility is here. You know, the bar has been raised to a very high level, and understand that there's a responsibility of working hard, commitment, dedication, so that we can do that again.
Coach, obviously you talk a lot about the impact that Don James had on you, but has any player or coach ever come to you and said that you've had that type of impact on them?
I often have players will send me emails or say something or text me, or that happens quite a bit. It's very rewarding when you find out that that you had an impact on players, and it's just not a player being a great player or playing in the NFL. It's a guy that has really struggled here, and then all of a sudden kind of gets it and matures and gets his degree and marries a gal here, gets his degree, maybe never had anybody in their history, their family ever graduate in college, and they can change a generation of family now. And so I think all those things, that's the most rewarding thing you get from coaching. Obviously, you got to have those kind of relationships and be able to develop them that way. You have to win to be able to do that, or you're going to be here. So that's the reality of our business.
Coach, after some of these conference game losses, your teams have been able to bounce back and get the win in the bowl. I mean, how has the team been able to kind of put that past them and whatever that loss may be in the conference?
Well, I think that's what happened during the season too. You got to move on, I thought we could have played better, and against maybe the best team in the country. That was my disappointment, and I'm responsible if they play well. So. After that game, I told the team that I didn't think I did a very good job, and well, coach, you did everything you could. Well, I didn't do good enough because we didn't play our best game. So I think our guys are positive. They are winners. They've been tremendously successful this year, and now can you get to that next notch up there? Can you get 11 wins? Can you get another 3 in a row, bowl game championships, those kind of things. That's the responsibility thing. You want to help build tradition here. You want to help build on it, so the next team's got to do it. Well, let's win 3 in a row. So those are the things we talk about.
Coach Shane Ray is going to be making a decision, I imagine, coming up here. I mean, what kind of role do you play, coaches play?
Well, it's not just for Shane or anybody. What we do is the NFL will do an evaluation. After the evaluation is over, then I'll sit down and talk with all the players. We've talked to them before this, prior to this. And so that's kind of how we do it for every one of our players. And we're not going to have any more bowl announcements at bowl games or anything else. That's an individual deal. We're going to do a team deal. And but what I always do is I always try to counsel my players like if they were my kids and what I would suggest that they do. And that's what I do all the time. But if a player decides he wants to go anyway, he can. Any player, Henry Josie, for example, a year ago. So that's it. But I just want to do it in the context of, outside the bowl game and all that. They can do it. They can do that individually. But I think that what the NFL has done this year is they've made a change in their evaluation process. I believe now you used to be able to send 10 or 12 people in to get evaluated. Now I think the limit's 4 or 5. I forget the exact number. And when they used to come back and kind of project what round you're getting in, now it's either we're projected to be up to the first round, you're projected to be up to the second round, and then the next comment instead of the third and the fourth and all that is stay in school, because they have looked at their analysis and they can't you can't give them a percentage. These kids are dropping out of school, okay, to go, and then they don't get drafted and they don't have a degree because they didn't finish their degree. So we're all in this together, and I think they made a great move in working with the NCAA and the American Football Coach Association of helping us make the kids can make good decisions. And I think the numbers will decrease, more guys will get drafted and more guys will graduate and have opportunities the next year. I think it's a really good move for protecting kids.